I ranked last in my first ever university exam. I failed probability 1, I got 38%. And at that point, I think the rational thing to do was to consider if I had the capabilities of pursuing and getting a degree after failing the first ever exam I took. And at the time, I thought if I was going to fail and drop out, I may as well fail every exam and then drop out. However, within the space of a few months, I was able to completely turn around my academics to the point where I was ranking first in economics modules. And today, I'm going to tell you how I managed to do it, because there are 3 very simple factors that transformed my academic journey and will more than likely transform yours. Recently, the class of 2020's 2017 exam rankings came out, and I happened to stumble across these and I checked out the rankings. Thrilling stuff it is. But it turns out, after ranking last in probability because I failed the module and got 38%, I actually ranked first in macroeconomics 1. And as soon as I saw this, I was delighted, thoroughly delighted. And I thought that I should share how I managed to go from ranking last in probability all the way up to first in macroeconomics 1. Because there are 3 things that completely transformed my academic journey at university. And most of you guys watching are be at university or, that sort of thing. So I figured it would be a very helpful video. Now, I think the important thing here is that I was never in the position where I thought I'd even rank close to first in this exam. I came off the back of 2 first-year economics exams with 2 very, very low scores. I mean, I couldn't find a person who got lower than me. And then I was able to transform it around as if, I just saw something in my sleep and I changed like that. It's kind of unheard of to go from failing to getting top in the year, I think. Now, in this 3-factor kind of step to getting good grades, the first one's going to be quite obvious. The last 2 are going to be a lot more kind of... The second point I'm about to tell you today is going to be very controversial. I know it. I just know it. Everybody's going to be at me in the comments and essay lecturers are going to hate me for this, but just wait for it, okay? Ugh. Also, I realised I haven't given you any proof that I ranked first. So here is my student card and you can see the end of my student ID. Here's the 2017 macroeconomics rankings and results. And you can see that my student ID matches up to the one with 86%, which is, ranked first. I'm not lying. Firstly, motivation. Now, to be a top performer, I'd say having a reward at the end of achieving a goal is something that is incredibly useful. Now, the problem with the university is you don't really see that kind of end goal or end reward of your final degree until it's way too late and you've already botched up 2 years of university. So that is the ultimate problem. So how do you kind of get around this problem and constantly stay motivated and not just motivated one day before your exam? And in all honesty, I don't know how you do this for everybody because you get blinded by these amazing nights out in society. I don't know. Basically, at university, you live each day as it is, and there's no short-term reward. It's only your final degree, which is the reward for working hard, so nobody really works that hard until the final hours of the exams and stuff. But the one thing that changed for me between me failing and me passing was the fact that I had the opportunity to study abroad. And so suddenly, because I could see the end goal of studying abroad, I got this motivation from this reward that I was going to have if I studied hard. Now, obviously, when you look at it from a degree perspective, your degree is 2 years down the line. Obviously, you're not going to work hard. And this reward wasn't a piece of paper. This was a physical type of reward because I go abroad. And that is very different from just having the final reward of a degree, a good degree. So how I went from ranking last to first was I became motivated. Step 1. Motivation. Find your motivation. Maybe you get all of your friends to commit to a holiday if you all perform well. Although you could just go on holiday if you do badly. Really reward yourself if you perform well in your exams, and I think that motivation to perform well is going to help you rank higher. The second thing that helped me rank from last to first was my essay writing ability. Now, I went through the whole year getting bad essay grades except for my final ever exam, and something kind of hit me by chance and it made me start getting great grades. Now, the thing that I did for my essay subjects was what I thought to be and think to be waffling. Okay, no. So what I basically mean, I don't mean waffle, do not waffle. I basically went from kind of explaining stuff in a fair amount of detail to overly explaining it to the point where I was writing absolutely an insane amount of pages. To me, it just looks like waffle because I'm explaining everything in such minimal basic steps. But as I started to waffle and write physically as much as I could about the explanation of my essays and steps in my essays, I started getting these great grades and I was like, oh my goodness. I thought waffling was just writing too much about, the same thing. So I never did it. But in actual fact, waffling is kind of just talking about something completely off topic. And when I realized that I kind of had a different definition of waffling to my lecturer, and what they wanted me to do was just kind of explain everything step by step in an incredible amount of detail. I started churning out these good grades, and I mean, for economic history, I recently got 74%. No doubt about it, it was down part to the content. This was in third year, by the way. But what I did in this exam, I wrote 19 pages. My writing was normal size, 19 pages. My hand was non-stop incredible moving, and I did well. Some of my friends did well with 10 pages, some only wrote 8 and got less marks than me, but what I found really worked for me was waffling and just writing as much as I could. And I know every lecturer, every teacher says quality over quantity, but I found that for my writing style, whenever I wrote loads, I started getting great grades. And I continued that kind of quantity explaining over quality explaining, and for me that transformed my academics, and I got such better grades in first, second and third year. But let me know what you think about what I just said there, because waffling is controversial, I'll tell you that. And step 3, the best grade I ever got came from macroeconomics 1, and this was the only subject in my whole university career that I bought a textbook for. Now, I was like, I'm not paying that money for a textbook, I'd rather just have it in the bank and do nothing with it type of thing, or I'd rather spend it on, nights out. But in actual fact, I used the textbook for this exam, and I ranked first. And for some reason, I never got a textbook for an exam ever again. And the reason why I only got a textbook for macroeconomics 1 was my friend, Shao Hizzo, who's like, bro, your textbook is gold for this subject. So I got it, and he was sure enough right. And obviously this is why I was so good in the exam, because I knew all the stuff from the textbook. And I just didn't buy one again, because I don't know why. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying buy every textbook. I'm saying if you can buy a textbook and your lecturer has based all of the material for the class on kind of the textbook, it might be a good idea to get one. And I think the thing at university is, right, you don't need to be smart to do well. You could be, a BBC, BBB student at A-level and smash A-star AA kids at university. So that is it. I truly went from being last to first in economics at York from these 3 factors: motivation, textbook and waffling. And I promise you, I've racked my brain. These are the 3 things that, I think personally helped me. Now, everyone's different, but when I look at why I did well there compared to my previous exams, they're the main factors. Obviously, I studied a bit more, but my point is I didn't study 2 times as much for macroeconomics 1 versus probability 1. Yet I got over double the grade in macroeconomics 1 than probability because of these 3 factors. I had to bring this video out because once upon a time Ali Abdaal brought out this video how I ranked first in Cambridge, and it blew up. And then when I saw I ranked first at York Economics, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm not even happy about ranking first. I'm just happy because I can make a YouTube video on it. So yeah, that is honestly kind of some serious tips there on mine. But on a serious level, I know that is why I ranked first. I just know it. So yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, and right now we're going to hop into a few clips from my podcast I did recently with my friend Owen from Birmingham University, and he's chatting all about Birmingham. So yeah, respect, and like, subscribe, see you again soon.
You got robbed? My house got burgled into in second year, yeah.
Oh, what?
So my friend...
That's crazy, bro.
My friend got burgled, like, in not my room, but his room got broken into, and they stole his laptop. But, like...
What?
I know so many people got burgled, like, ridiculous.
Well, yeah, let's just go back to your story about you getting robbed.
Yeah,
so you was just in the house when it happened, or sleeping, or what?
I think so, yeah. Well, I mean, I believe we were all in the house, and so what he'd done is so the house, the layout on the ground floor, it extended out a bit, one of the rooms. So he somehow got in the back garden, climbed up and went into my mate's on like the first, second floor, whatever you want to call it. And just went in, like smashed, like went through the window and took the laptop.
During day or night?
I think about 8, 9 p.m. But it was...
What?
Yeah, that's quite normal. Like, you will see daily posts on... The uni group is called Fathom Fresh.
Yeah.
Right? And that's kind of the main sort of Facebook group. 30,000 people. And you will see daily, like, notifications. And it's a bit of a hashtag stay safe, Selly. You'll see.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
I can't believe you got robbed, man. Like, the guy did it during normal hours of the day.
People, like, it is, like, there is daily robberies.
So I guess, like...
People get mugged at night.
But I guess if that guy was in his room whose laptop got stolen, the guy would have just...
Could have attacked him.
Probably had something, if he's going to rob him in the day.
All up in my head, that's how I behave. Passing up the same, waking up the same. All up in my head, that's just how I behave. How I behave.